What's going on, everyone? Today I want to talk about something that I think is very important in fighting games that I've begun to understand, and that is the mental stack, right? So I think over the past couple of months, I guess you could say, or more so weeks, that I've been taking fighting games or Street Fighter 6 more seriously, is that I realized that there is definitely a part of skill, or I guess high level players, that just involves execution and pure reaction, but it's also knowledge and more so balancing that. And this is where I get into the mental stack of things. So mental stack is pretty much, from what I understand, is how well you can balance the different aspects of the match that you're in, or fighting games in general. So just like how when you're driving a car, you have the GPS, you have to worry about steering, well, not necessarily GPS, but where you're going. You have to worry about oncoming traffic. You have to react to how other people are driving. You also have to compensate for like weather, like if it's too wet or snow or what have you. The same thing in fighting games. So you have to worry about shimmying or wake up or oki, or using meaties, or whether you should do a super or not, or whether you should use a drive gauge, specifically in Street Fighter 6, or somewhat similar in other fighting games, right? So for example, if I'm using my Akuma and I walk forward and I try to bait out like a reversal, like say I'm using like a oki or whatever, I oki them and or knock them down. I do use my oki and I move forward, and then I slightly shimmy back, and then a reversal, and then I whiff them on that. That's pretty much the mental stack that's going to start to appear on the opponent side, because now they have to worry about, okay, this guy obviously can react to reversals, so I have to worry about him shimmying. Or like say the opponent throw loops me, right? And then he goes to throw loop me again and I tech it, then he has to worry about that as well. So one of the biggest things that I realized is recently, I was fighting a Masters player, and I think a lot of the times, and not only just that particular Masters player, but there is like diamonds and platinums that I fight in casuals. And a lot of the times I think that because I'm in gold, they kind of underestimate me. So a lot of the times I will shimmy, or I will tech a throw, or I am not YOLOing, wake up DPs and stuff like that. Even though I still do, but I try not to do it as much. I think that they often lose matches because of that, or lose rounds because of that, more so, because they end up beating my ass anyways. But I think that as a newer player, it's harder to keep up with the mental stack, because you're worried about, oh, is this guy going to drive rush me? Or if this guy hits me and connects, is he going to juggle me? Like, I'm calling out the Sagat players out here, right? And stuff like that. So I think the reason why high level players, it's kind of easier for them to more or less keep up with the mental stack, is because they're used to it. It's kind of like, as it goes back to my driving analogy, where like, if you're a person, sorry, a guy or girl, that you just started learning how to drive, you're worried about other cars, the traffic, the stop signs, turn signals, and all this other stuff, right? But as you get used to driving, a lot of stuff becomes more automatic, so you don't have to worry about that stuff. You just worry about your higher level situation, like if someone's speeding or whatnot. It's kind of the same thing, where like with fighting games, the more you practice, the higher your skill level is, the less you have to worry about little things like that, because a lot of those reactions and stuff will become automatic, because of your matchup knowledge and stuff like that, your experience. So you just worry more about executing your plan, as opposed to having so much burden on the mental stack, if that makes sense. But that's just something that I wanted to share my thoughts on, and hopefully someone who's new as me can kind of learn something. But that's all I have for today, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.